Pino, are you up?
Yes.
Are you asleep?
No, I'm playing Fate Grand Order.
Jesus Christ! Pino, you gotta stop playing phone games when we're trying to do the podcast. Jesus. It's so loud. Why you always gotta put it up to your mic?
I don't.
Funny.
You do!
Okay.
Last time on Jojo's Bizarre Adventure, the Funky Anime Podcast hadn't watched Jojo in over 2 years. But now, Chuck finally decided to get off of his ass to actually host the episode for part 3. Will it be as good as they remember, or shall it become as irrelevant as Hamon? Let's find out. Hey guys, welcome to Funky Anime Podcast.
That's a low blow. I love ham.
No.
Delicious.
This is the last part with ham, so you better like it.
Oh no. But what about my eggs?
I'm trying to think if there's any part where they explicitly mention eggs. Part 4. Echo's Act 0 is an egg.
Why is it sometimes called reverb, sometimes echoes?
No,
Never
okay,
mind,
well-
the wrong part. That's a diversion for another day.
Well, I could tell you, but that doesn't matter right now. We'll talk about it in a second.
I could tell
Guys-
you, but I have to kill you.
Guys, welcome to the Funky Anime Podcast. The person standing to my left, well, that's Garbalax.
I'm menacingly standing here. You better watch yourself, kid.
The one sitting to my right, well, that's Pino.
Thank you.
You look comfortable. How's that
Yes.
chair, Pino?
It's pretty good. You want to hear a squeak?
Yeah?
That was a squeak, I swear.
I don't know about that. And me, the one who's air squatting. Chuck. Wow, I'm like the in between. It's like it's like the bipedal man image.
You're gonna have an ass like Joseph in no time.
God, that's what I want. But guys, we watched part 3 finally.
Hooray!
We did it. It's been
Wait a second. Part 6 wasn't announced.
What? I never made that. I never made that promise because I knew it would be way too long. And I won't make that promise with part 4 because I want to watch part 4 like next season. But
Yeah.
Who knows when that's gonna be?
guys, we watched part 3, and before we go any further, how are you guys doing?
What he said.
How
are you?
I thought we were gonna ad-lib a bit more, but okay. Guys, we've all watched this show before, right?
No, I thought you guys were gonna really actually talk about your day.
I was gonna, and then you burped, and then he said also that, and I said, okay, I guess we're not doing this anymore.
It was your turn.
It was, oh my God.
I'm gonna use my stand. I'm gonna rewind time. Okay.
Hey, Pino, how was your day?
You rewinded time. You didn't say you're gonna alter it. What a
How about
terrible
you,
stand.
What a useless stand.
I get
it's
to
not useless,
relive.
Garb,
I get to relive your worst memories again.
Garb, you're the one who has to like do things differently.
Oh shit, we gotta do it again.
Hey, Pino, how's your day?
Well, excuse you, Pino. I had a very tiring day. How was your day, Pino?
I can't burp a second time. You've already altered the time.
There's no more gas in this timeline. Oh no!
It was good. I had a good time.
Nice.
I was watching a lot of anime, so I've got a lot under my bag now.
Under your bag?
Under your bag?
Yeah, under my anime bag.
Oh. That's
Or the
what
map.
Okay.
Dude, do you think they got magnets in there?
Yeah.
Dude, maybe that's how you can move and rewind time. Just use 2 magnets.
I thought it was the power of magic editing, but
Never. Hey guys,
it's magnets.
my day was okay. I watched the rest of Jojo today. And then I had mac and cheese.
That sounds pretty good. I ate a bunch of... I ate meat for dinner and a little bit of green beans and just a bunch of meat.
Guys,
Yeah.
I had beans for
Because
dinner.
some of my family's keto, so we just eat a bunch of fucking meat.
Hell yeah. I love meat. But guys, watch part 3. And before I forget, because I almost forgot.
Watch part 1, then watch
Shut
part
up.
2, then watch
Shut
part
up.
3.
I want to thank the Patreon
Remember, it's
people.
Shoten Ketsu.
I'm going to freaking kill you so much. I want to thank our Patreon people. I want to thank Cream Puff. I want to thank Cosmos. I want to thank Jasmine. I want to thank Sid. And I want to thank John for being our big money dollar bill people who give us
love
money
you.
to make the show possible.
We love all the patrons.
Equally, but the $10 ones a little bit more equally than the others.
Hey.
But yeah, so I think our backgrounds with this, didn't I make both of you guys watch JoJo like years ago?
Probably.
Probably.
I think, yeah, because I think you told me to watch Kill la Kill, and then I told you to watch JoJo and then also watch Nichijou.
That's a fair trade.
I think you got the better end of the deal with 2.
I did, but Nichijou's like the best show ever, too.
It's true.
Sorry, Jojo, you're pretty good, but Nichijou, man.
Except for Pino. Pino hates Nichijou.
Yeah, well...
Man,
well,
all my friends hate Nietzsche.
No!
Yeah, but your background on the show at all? Any fun stories about part 3 background?
I finally read the JoJo manga. Like, I read parts 1 and 2, and I read like half of part 3 and then got bored with it and skipped to part 4. But...
Yeah.
Because we were watching the anime, too, so I was like, well, I'm just going to keep watching the anime.
But part 3 also takes a bit longer to really flesh out in the manga. I skipped part 3 when I was reading, because what happened was when I was watching JoJo, 4 years ago or 3 years ago at this point, whenever it was coming out. So I watched all the way through until wherever it was currently on part 4. It was close to ending, but I think I watched like 2 weekly. And then after that, I'd read through part 1, part 2, part 4, part 5, part 6, part 7, and then however far up part 8 was, and then I
went back to part 3, or did you just continue not reading part 3?
No, I just haven't. I've read a little part 3. I've never read the whole thing just because it's long and I find the other parts more enjoyable.
So Pino, have you read part 3 at all?
I don't read.
Okay. Well, this is the rare occasion where Garb is the one who has read the manga.
Well, I've read
of the
some of the
others have.
manga. You haven't read all the manga. Hush your mouth.
No, I read half of it.
I read like less than a quarter.
I read until what the hell was it? Oh well, I'd have to get the tablet and look. I'm not doing that.
But yeah, we've all seen this show before. This is just like a nice little rewatch for all of us, which is different than most
What are you saying, Pino?
episodes.
No, I said yeah.
Yeah.
But let's do some quick background about JoJo. JoJo's a fucking long ass manga series that has been going on since the 80s, I think. Let's see. Let me scroll up on the wiki page. This started publishing in 1989, the original source manga from Araki, which love that man. He never ages. But JoJo actually started in 1987. So this third part started 2 years after that, and then the anime started spring 2014.
It did start.
That was me intimidating Star Platinum when he sucked in Yaba's stead and then just held it there and then watched her suffocate.
I think that's where I ended. I think I'd read up to about Inaba and was like, all right, I've had enough of this.
All right, that's it.
No more.
Yeah, I've had enough. But the part 3 started out in spring 2014, which is, give me a second, I got a cough. Wasn't a cough,
The answer
but
is 6.
I had to clear my throat. But it was pretty decent season for anime. It had No Game No Life, Haikyuu, the last season of Fairy Tail, and part 3 all come out.
Wow.
And then a year after that, in winter 2015, well, actually not a year, it's only several months, came out the second season, the Egypt arc of part 3. And that was also a pretty decent one, because it had Durara Show come out, it had Death Parade come out at that time, so it was pretty decent.
Cool.
Pretty good years.
Well, we've seen all of those shows, so I mean,
Well,
it
there's
must have
also
been
a
a
lot
pretty
of
good season.
Well, there's also a lot of shows that I didn't list, like Assassination Classroom, that we haven't
Well,
seen.
people like that show.
Yeah, I've heard people enjoy the show.
I heard one person enjoy it.
Yeah, but JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, animated by David Production, who since the last time we actually watched any JoJo has made some pretty big shows. They did Fire Force, which apparently was pretty good. It was apparently big. I watched a couple episodes and stopped. And then they also did Cells at Work, which I know Pino just finished watching. And the second season's coming out in January. So
That's pretty good.
yeah. They've done good things. They're relatively new though, all things considered. They when did they start making shit?
When
2009. So
oh, they're not that old at all. Only 11 years. Huh.
yeah, and they got the JoJo license, and they've done
Yeah.
godly things with the JoJo's license. So we love to see it. But yeah, David Pro has done a really good job with this, and you're going to hear us talk about it a lot. But let's just hop into the presentation then, shall we?
Please.
It's good.
It is. It's David Productions, man.
It's very pretty, very nice. No, there's some like far away shots that are a little bit funny looking, but
yeah,
that's to be expected.
And they usually clear some of those up in the Blu-ray release, but I don't know what version is on streaming sites.
It wasn't atrocious like the part 4 blunder that they had, but we'll talk about that when we watch part 4. But all things considered, very good. They make excellent use of the alternate color palettes.
Oh,
and
yes.
It is so good to see. Especially after Flowers of Evil, I was like, this is a good anime.
I have a question.
Yes.
So, you watched it on Netflix. Pino, did you watch it on Netflix?
I did also watch it on Netflix.
Okay. Was it censored to, like, during the Darby fight?
You watched the release version. We watched the Blu-ray because whenever they're smoking,
yes,
it's blacked out.
Yes.
It's really funny.
And there's also like any sort of blood and guts. There's blackout too.
Yeah, no.
And it looks really ugly. So
watch it on Netflix.
I really should have. Well, next time that I watch JoJo, watch it on Netflix.
Because I think there's probably just some censorship in TV on what you can show. So
yeah.
But so watch it on Netflix. Don't watch it on Crunchyroll unless you want that blackout.
Yeah. If you're a young child.
It's true. If you're a young child, go watch that. It won't destroy your mind. I don't know why they didn't make the cigarettes lollipops. Should have just done that.
I'm gonna smoke a cigarette now.
But yeah, background's always great, especially the color palettes, all the effects that they use that aren't necessarily 2D. Like they do utilize some 3D, but it was never a bad 3D.
Yeah. They did it on stuff that it made sense to, and whenever they did it on in the final couple episodes whenever they go up to Dio's room, there's a really cool sweeping shot, but they keep the characters out of sight. They just do the room until then it goes back, camera settles, and then the people walk in. And like the car, it's fine on inanimate objects.
I think you also say because these characters really don't interact with these 3D objects too often, which I think is what really sells it. Because, like, for example, the thing that I remember is when Whole Horse has to shoot the bullets through the pipe. The tracking shot of those bullets in the pipe, the bullets and the pipe are all in 3D. But they don't interact, like, physically with any character. It's just its own little thing. So that, like, works very well.
Agreed. In moderation, 3D is fine, but...
Yeah, especially for things like... Also, like, they did the mirrors for the Hanged Man fight. Which, like, that just makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna complain about having to... not 2D animating 100, like, rotating glass shards.
Yeah, screw that.
Background's great, no complaints. Animation quality, all the fight scenes are phenomenal. There's no bad scenes. There's some goofy ones, but there's no bad scenes. One thing that I guess we'll talk about is the Lucky Land style. That's what I call it, because I don't actually know. God, I'm losing my mind.
So that's what the tarot cards and maybe you could say as a stretch the Oingo Boingo artwork.
Yeah, because Lucky Land Communications is owns the rights to the series with Araki. So all the Lucky Land stuff I think was drawn. Okay. Lucky Land Communications is Araki's personal manga studio.
Oh.
So that's why there's all the Lucky Land paraphernalia with all the tarot cards and the openings and endings. And there's a bunch of other things like the tarot cards, obviously. And the Oh, That's a Baseball segment. It's on a billboard, and in Stand Proud, it's seen during some of the scenes when they're attacking. So it's good stuff. So I actually didn't know that. So you learn something new every day.
Wow.
Let's go voice acting. So what did you guys listen to?
I watched it fully dubbed.
Whew.
Mostly because last time I listened to it all fully subbed because I missed it before I finished watching this one subbed, and then they were like, we announced the dub. I'm like, well, great. Bye. But yeah, I mostly fully dubbed for me.
Cool. I started with the dub because I wanted to try it out, but it was so distracting to hear Joseph Joestar speak, and I just cracked up at everything he said because he just sounds like Bobobo.
It's true. Thank you, Richard Apgar, for being just an absolute G. And since we're actually speaking of voice actors, I have a couple fun facts about different voice actors, things in JoJo. So, number one, in the original Stardust Crusaders OVA, Senator Phillips, the driver guy who Dio torments, was actually voiced by Charles Martinet.
Wow.
Yeah. He sounds a little bit like Mario. This was before he did any Mario stuff. So it's very funny.
Wow.
So you can look up clips of that later. And then two, Kid Pornolef in the set fight when he becomes a little baby. And the English dub is voiced by Erica Mendez, who's the same voice as Gon from Hunter x Hunter and Kid Trunks, and also Nico and Ryuko.
Huh. So yeah, I've heard that name.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, she's great. She did a lot of cool stuff. I actually didn't check who Kid Jotaro was.
Oh yeah, he only spoke like one line, but that was definitely like a different actor or actress.
The voice actress who did Suzu from Bobobo.
There's a little bit of Bobo injected in here. The spirit
no,
of
yeah,
Bobo
the
still
voice
lives
cast,
on.
well, because the voice cast isn't specifically like Funimation, so it doesn't have that group of people, but it seems to have the same dubbing studio as.
Well, the dub was put on, like, produced by Adult Swim, right? So, I mean, they probably picked them.
No, Viz Media did it.
Oh, okay. I stand corrected. That makes sense.
I think that's who did it. That's what it says
sense.
on my anime list. So that's what I'm. But yeah,
That makes sense.
Oh, and then she was also Naru in Love Hina, but no one else knows that but me. But yeah, so those are some fun facts. Because whenever I heard Kid Portal F, I'm like, that's Gon. Like, I know that. Like, I was like, I know who it is. But yeah, I watched a mix of the dub and the sub because I wanted to hear the Japanglish while also still being able to like enjoy the dub because I never watched the dub before. So like Jotaro, Matthew Mercer, what a good voice actor he is for Jotaro. Is so good. I'm trying to think of like just the whole cast. There's not a bad one. Dio, obviously phenomenal voice actor. Both Hiraku Midorikawa.
Bless you.
Okay, shush. Who, very funnily enough, he was Soften in the sub of Bobo. and well, no, because there's two. It's weird because I don't know if he was the OVA voice actor. I should actually check that, shall we? Because there's whenever you're looking on my anime list, there's the OVA stuff and then there's series stuff. Oh, okay. So the voice actor for Soften, who I just said, he did the Phantom Blood OVA. And then I think this is the one who I'm thinking of, which is funny because Takehiro Koyazu, he did Bobobo. Like he was the voice actor for Bobobo. So if you ever watched Bobobo in Japanese, you can hear Dio like distinctively. Like it's crazy hearing him. But also very good voice actor. And then Patrick Sees for the dub, also super great. No complaints like anywhere in any of the voice acting performances.
I think the performances are fine, but I'm not crazy about some of the choices on the dub. But I mean, they may just not have had a whole lot of people
also
to pick from. Like,
also, Pino,
yeah.
No, Pino, this is for you. Patrick Sees the dub voice for Dio is Simon from Durarara.
Yes. I knew that.
Yes.
I like him. He's a good voice
Russian
actor. Very
sushi.
versatile. Yes.
But like overall, there's no. I liked. There's obviously some choices that I like over others. Like it's hard to replace the original Dio. Like it's like impossible. Like that iconic upper performance to try and dub over. Avdol, I think I liked his dub better than the sub.
Really?
Yeah. Except for the yes, you better believe I am. That's the only part I didn't like about that. That made me sad.
So
okay. We don't talk about that.
I swapped a sub for that episode.
I would say that Avdol is the one that I really am that shocked me the most. And really? I was like, I'm not sure that... Yeah, but I don't know. I've also watched Part 3 subbed before, so I may just be really used to existing Avdol voice, or Japanese, but...
I mean, fair enough.
I mean, he did a good job. I just...
Yeah.
It just
it's
sounds
personal
like...
preference.
Yeah, exactly.
Guys, we've talked enough about voice actors. Can we talk about that freaking OST, though?
Yes.
I feel like this is the first part that like really hit the nail on the head with the soundtrack. Because
Oh yes.
there's a lot of good tracks in parts 1 and parts 2, but I don't think the sheer quality
Yeah.
is found until this part.
Yeah,
There's
it doesn't
nothing-
become memorable enough until now.
Agreed. There's no. What's the song for Kakyo and like Virtuous Pope?
Yeah.
Oh, that
Or
song's
Noble Pope, but
That song's so good.
That's
And just the
like-
general battle theme,
Yeah.
the
Well,
one. They play it all the time in the last couple episodes.
well,
and even add, like,
the Stardust Crusader song, the like the iconic JoJo song, so good. Like I don't think there's a bad song on this OST, and I think one of the and yeah, you're thinking of Decisive Battle is like the title of it. It's good. One of the songs that I don't think gets enough love is Purple Thorns, which is Joseph's theme. It's just kind of like a little bit funkier, but still funny. It's good. And then also Setting Off, which is like the little chime one, the ding, 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 that you hear sometimes.
Oh yeah, the little sweet song.
Yeah,
They play
it's
it like near the end.
Yeah.
Is when I remember it off the top of my head.
Yeah, when they're flying away, they play it, and I'm like, oh. And then it comes in with the strings. That gives me chills. That is such a good song. I could talk about this OST for hours, but it's so good. Anyone else have any standout songs they want to talk about?
Virtuous Pope is the one that I really enjoy. I really like Whole Horses. The song,
Yeah.
it kind of reminds me of like One Piece a little bit. But
I just think of westerns.
yeah, I specifically like the second phrase. I don't know. It makes me think. I see Zoro when I hear that. I don't. Something in my brain is like, no, that's Zoro.
I know. Imagine Zoro with a cowboy hat.
And they're
Oh,
good,
wait, that's real.
but it's great.
Oh yeah.
It's very, very fun, but when we talk about OSTs, we got to talk about the OPs next.
Oh boy.
As always, excellent showings. So let's talk about it, shall we? I'll let you guys get your words in first before I go off, because I know I will. So the first opening is Stand Proud by Jin Hashimoto, and that's for all of the first season of Part 3. So what do you guys got to say about Stand Proud?
It's good. I think there's a little too much double bass, especially like during the boram, 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 and everything after that. It just like sounds. He's just going so hard that it sounds out of time, and it really distracts me, and I really don't like it. But the rest of it, like the guitar, fantastic.
It's super fun.
I like this one. This one is very action packed. It's very nice just seeing the 3D again after such a long time, and with the addition of some of the 2D stuff there too. And it's just got JoJo opening written all over it. Psychedelic colors, fast moving action, flowy stuff moving around, Japanese words everywhere, and then them saying JoJo, JoJo, JoJo every time. That's great.
The 3D, so like all the 3D openings, so opening 1 to opening 4. This is opening 3, by the way, because we're going off the sense that JoJo, but the opening animations were produced by Kamikaze Doga, so a different studio. It was outsourced to them because I don't think David Pro does that high quality 3D, but man, there's something so nice about the JoJo 3D openings.
I do love them. I do adore it. I don't.
Feels like home.
It does. It really does. And like, there's so many scenes, shots in this opening that they used from like different color spreads from the manga, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Like a couple. Where is it? I don't know if it's in this opening or the next one, but when they're jumping together, That's a color spread. And I think that was actually the color spread that Whole Horse was in, with all of them jumping. Because that was before Araki decided that he didn't want Whole Horse as one of the Stardust Crusaders. Used to be, but his and Polnareff's like attitudes and personality were too close together, he said, so he didn't add him, which is sad, but you know.
Well, they could have butted heads, you know.
Well, we also got many
Iggy.
Episodes with Whole Horse as well.
That's true.
He's like the recurring side villain.
He's number 2.
It's true. One of the other things I want to talk about is when they have the 5 shooting stars in the opening to symbolize the 5 Stardust Crusaders at that point, Kakyo and Jotaro, Joseph, Abdul, and Polnareff. For a split second at the end, you see a 6th star on the right, and that symbolizes Iggy, and I love that.
I gotta rewind. I
gotta watch that again.
And there's a couple little foreshadowings and references in here, which is really nice, and that's one of my favorite touches. But then, like I love the shot with Hermit Purple or Holly Stand going through the JoJo line, because it has like Lisa, it has Suzy Q in it, it has George Joestar, the father. Or
wasn't that Joseph's dad?
No, it's Joseph's. Yeah, Joseph's dad. Yes, he didn't have Haman though, and then he died to a vampire. A Nazi vampire, I think.
Oh no,
he was a general. But that's all I know. But there is some serious sexiness in this opening, which is very fun. I think this is like one of the most just like jam-packed fun openings of JoJo, along with stuff like Crazy Noise of Bizarre Town and Stand Proud. Or not Stand Proud. Bloody Stream. We're watching Stand Proud. But it's super fun. I love this one.
Yeah.
So before we go on to the other opening, let's talk about Walk Like an Egyptian for a second.
What? American music in my endings? Who else
it's more
but
likely
JoJo?
than you think. What do you guys think about Walk Like an Egyptian?
Top tier.
Top tier?
Well,
it's up there.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it's really, you just can't top Roundabout. But this is, I love it.
It's got the same style going on where it's like everything's kind of connected in a way. Like,
but this one
kind of like a tapestry, but you get those like cards everywhere. So it's pretty nice. It's different.
The tarot cards, which actually I own 6 of those tarot cards because they came with the JoJo OVAs that I bought on DVD a while ago.
It better be of all 6 of the Crusaders. No,
I have the Emperor, so like the defunct Crusader. I got the Hierophant. I got Strength, so the gorilla stand. Or not the gorilla, just the big monkey. I got the Hermit, so I got Hermit Purple. I got Justice, which is Baby 11. And then I have the Hanged Man. So I got some pretty decent ones.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't get the Lovers, because I would have been like, that's a snoozer.
Yeah.
But this is a little bit more dynamic than Roundabout, which I really like.
There's so much color.
Yeah, I love the brightness of this ending. And it's a good song, like Walk Like an Egyptian by the Bangles. Like, you can't... It's a good, really good song.
Yeah.
And especially since they're going to Egypt, it fits, and it's fun.
I get it.
It's good stuff. It's just good and fun. I just really like this one.
Yeah.
But let's talk about End of the World now. Pino, I know you really like End of the World. I want you to
did you say the best JoJo opening?
Well, talk about it. Tell us why.
Well, I like it. Because I like clocks.
I like clocks too, Pino, and I think it's a good opening too.
I know what clocks are.
Dude, what is it with vampires and clock towers?
I mean, they don't know the time sometimes.
They're really tall too. They can see.
Yeah.
They're old. They got to make sure, like, okay, all right, it's what year? Okay, all right, fine. I'm going back to sleep.
This opening, it was a grower for me when I started, but after the series ended, this is the only opening I can equate the part 3 to, because it was just it's where it's positioned near the tail end of the series.
it's still as flowy as Stand Proud, but there's a lot of slower moments in here which I do appreciate. Like you don't really get a lot of that with some of the openings in JoJo.
Yeah, like with the casting the spotlight, it does a good job of like really like
and when they're like looking at. And when they're looking at the city on top of a building and like having the sky turn like from like light to dark, I was like, yeah, I'm in it. It's like it flows really well. And the song itself just I don't know, it screams final boss music, and I'm just like, okay.
The song is by the Joestars, which is the previous three singers for the JoJo openings. So it's very good. A lot of dynamic voices. You hear Coda in there.
Fucking Coda sounds so good.
Exactly.
You also hear, and then you also hear Tommy, who did OP1, and then Gene,
Tommy,
OP3. Yeah, but you can hear the distinctness between their three singing voices, and it's so much fun. One thing about the one on top of the building, From Light to Dark, I love how that is because it has the holes that Vanilla Ice put through the walls and whatnot, and like this is the view from the tower that Dio was in. Mm-hmm. And there's so many little foreshadowing things in this opening specifically that I absolutely adore. It's just a very nice, well done opening. Like, for example, the swinging pendulum while they're climbing up the stairs that has all the different Egyptian gods in the silhouettes, which is super fun. Mm-hmm. And then it foreshadows the world.
Foreshadows the deaths. By the way, like if you've not seen, this is your last chance. If you've not seen JoJo,
watch it. Please. What the fuck are you doing here?
But it foreshadows whenever like Avdol, Iggy, and Kekyoin, all of their deaths.
Yeah.
Pour one out for the boys.
Pour one out for the boys.
Pour 3 out for the boys.
Well, pour 2 out. I don't care about one of them, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, but like as it has the shot of all the characters climbing up the stairs, all the characters are actually frozen, and you see the camera shift forward, like jet forward a couple times, and then slide in to show like Dio's like time stopping powers of like jumping forward and pause time, which is super fun. But then you also have and then you have all the like the rails on the stairs break apart just like in instances. So it's a super cool one. Yeah, and then as you said, the deaths of all the Stardust Crusaders. And actually this is the this was the opening that has them all jumping, which was the color spread that I was thinking about, which is a super beautiful, fun image. And yeah, this has a slightly darker tone that, fits with the story so well. Also,
can we talk about Dio just stopping the song?
Yeah, dude. Oh my god. This is where it is. When like JoJo figured out what their bread and butter in their openings was going to be, it was going to be changing them. And so this is the first actual instance of a difference in the openings for JoJo. And it has Dio using the world right before Joseph is like breaking through this glass. And then Dio himself breaks the glass, and then you see him walk forward. And they only have this immediately after like you realize what Dio's power is. So seeing this in the next episode is so cool, because the original one has Dio just like standing there in the back and appear, and it's so cool to actually like have that like kind of like, what's it called? Realization. Yeah, that's what it was. And then also they use the alternate color palettes so much.
And then they aura muda muda.
It's true. Well, because in the original, it has the different characters of the Stardust Crusaders saying aura aura, because like you can hear Kakyoin and whatnot in one of them. But then the second one, it's Jotaro, and it's Star Platinum in the world going muda muda and ora ora ora, and it's so nice. And then they go ora.
I like it.
It's so good. It's so much fun. I love these openings. If you can't tell.
They're good openings.
They're good. It's a fun time.
What is it?
Love it.
Is it time? Did you... What's that?
Guys, I think it's the last train.
Ah, dude, I forgot my ticket.
Oh no, dude, you're gonna be stuck here for the rest of the night.
No, I'll walk.
But this, so the second ending is Last Train Home by the Pat Metheny group, which is the most underrated JoJo ending. And I stand firm by that. It is such a good, somewhat sombering song, but there's a little bit of hope in it.
Yeah.
And
there's some crazy shit that goes down in the second half of part 3 that it's real nice to have something peaceful.
And it also has Dumb Iggy Dog in it.
It's not my favorite, I'll be honest.
Oh,
but
really?
it's there. I'll be honest, I skipped it most of the time, but you know, it works for what it is. I can agree with you boys there, but you're right, it's pretty underrated and probably not my favorite in my honest opinion.
It happens. But I don't know. I think it's really the simplicity of it all that really makes it for me. And then it ends with the picture that Jotaro leaves, and it's the picture that they took at the start of the Egypt arc with all the characters, and it just makes me very happy. I love that picture. It has Polnareff holding Joseph's face, and I'm like, yeah.
Has some cool angles in this too.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's because it's. I think this is how you do. You know, I fucking talk about this every time, but this is how you do like a sliding ending. Yeah. One that doesn't have really much animation at all. Maybe some like looping scenic background animation, but like to make it seem still dynamic without having moving parts. With just like the lighting on the characters changing as the days change, I think is a really cool concept. And then it transfers from the panorama shot outside to make it look like it was Iggy and Polnareff looking outside the window of a train on the last train home, by the way, which is super cool. I love this one so much. It's so simple, yet so effective on what it goes out to do. And I think that's my favorite part of this.
And they also do a version where it like starts at a different point in the song.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Depending on what they need. And also, one of the shots where Avdol's looking up at the stars, it has how some long exposure shots that some cameras have, when the stars move, it makes them look like lines. And so that's what it looks like on the sky, which I really love. It's just a very simple, yet super effective. And then it's great. I love it. But guys, that's not the only endings we have left. Yeah?
You ready to boing?
Guys, we're talking about the Oingo Boingo and the Whole Horse Boingo endings. So I'm just going to kind of lump them into one because they're relatively similar. They have the a bizarre, for lack of a better term, animation style, which is based off of Boingo's Stand, which is a book that tells the future. And it's fun because the song basically tells the story of the two brothers and then what they do, and then it's just them singing.
What their stands do.
Yeah, it's very fun.
And their card. So
yeah. It's good. And then the second one, because Whole Horse is a team up with Boingo, well, he kidnaps him basically. But regardless, Whole Horse then sings with Boingo, which is super good. Like, this is like one of the things that like they didn't have to do.
They really didn't have to,
but they did, and I think it's so funny and so glad that they did.
It's a little off-putting for me, if I'm going to be honest. But
really?
It does really grow on you after a while.
Yeah.
I completely forgot that Whole Horse had his version, and I was like, well, I guess I'm staying to listen, but it's still very weird.
Yeah. I think
but at least the song's catchy.
Like that. Yeah, like a little bit weird to do. It's fun though. I think they're great, and this is like the weirdness that JoJo can get away with that I really love. So I'm glad that they put the effort through, even though, you know, it seems just like articulated joints and like fucking After Effects or whatever, but I still really love how it looks and how like weird and like off-putting it is. It's great.
I enjoy it. I sometimes I just have to watch this recreationally.
That's for personal use, please.
Please, Oingo Boingo responsibly.
Please boing responsibly. But yeah, it's really good, and they reuse like panels that they drew for the manga and the show. Smart. The Oingo Boingo, or the Boingo manga, not the actual JoJo's Bizarre Adventure manga. Just want to make sure it's known. But it's good. It's really fun. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's it, unless anyone else wants to talk about those openings/endings before we get to story.
We go.
I just want to talk about Horse's tongue in that one
he
part.
He goes, boing. That's what it looks like. He looks like he's going.
All right, story it is.
Guys, they found a fucking casket, and these motherfuckers were like, let's open it. This will be good, right?
Dun dun.
And then the ship was found later with only the empty coffin and no one else. But guess what? That doesn't matter right now, because we're gonna go talk about Joseph Joestar coming back. Our favorite running man from part 2. He goes to Japan to see what the hell's up with his delinquent grandson Jotaro, who was a delinquent by nature, and he was designed that way because that was popular at the time in Japan. And that's literally the same reason why Jotaro and Josuke are designed the way that they are.
Wow. Oi, did you?
Well, because they were each designed after the different bad boys, or like the delinquents at that time frame. So like Jotaro was more of like the, you know, like very stoic, like cool badass one. And then I guess Josuke was more of a delinquent type, more of a wacky dude, but that's fine.
Wacky dude.
I think that's a pretty good representation of what
he's groovy. Well, no.
He is groovy. You are right. But then we learn about his evil spirit, and we're like, what? I thought this was JoJo. I thought they had Hamon.
That's what I said to myself.
But joke's on you. They got evil punching ghosts called stands, which will reshape the world of battle manga as a whole.
And named after Stand By Me, because the way they stand next to you.
I like that.
That's in the manga. That's not a joke.
I know. I love the stupid literal translation of it.
Stand by me.
It is.
Oh, stand.
I just think it's really funny. I love it.
So there's a delinquent.
He's in jail, and Don Patch is one of the jailers. I just wanted to let you guys know that.
The show starts off with Don Patch, and then...
And you're like, this is going to be a good one.
Yeah, that's how you know.
We did it.
He got his contract.
Guys,
Catharsis.
Oh my goodness. But so he's in the jail cell, but then Muhammad Avadul, who is an Egyptian man, fortune teller, comes and gets him out because he has an evil spirit of his own. Which name is the Firebird.
Talon
Magician's
Flame.
Red, if you're not familiar. So Muhammad Avadul gets him out, And so we're like, damn, Dio, they pulled up his casket and he took my grandfather's body.
Oh, he took my body of Jonathan Joestar.
It's true. I can't believe they did. I can't believe they did Jonathan dirty like that.
They did. I was upset. As you know, I love part 1. And
Part
then they
one's
said, no,
real fun.
Dio, the Joestar body. And I said, huh.
I went, I'm sad. So after that, Jotaro goes to school the next day, and then we meet some like weird kid.
As you do when you go to school sometimes.
He's got cool hair. Also, before I forget, Muhammad Abdul is named after American singer Paula Abdul. If you couldn't,
Oh, I did not know that.
because
Thought it was,
Abdul and Abdul is close
Muhammad
enough.
Ali.
Trivia.
Guys,
So
trivia.
we meet someone who
Kakyoin,
has
who is
an emerald splash that cannot be
it
deflected.
can't be it can't be
You can't-
deflected. Never.
No one can deflect the emerald splash.
But he has a stand called Hierophant Green, so they fight, and he goes into a woman's body, not sexually, just to kill her.
Yeah.
But then
And control her.
Jotaro beats the shit out of Kakyoin, and then he has a flesh bud. They take it out because that was controlling him, and then they leave because.
Jotaro was like, "Damn, this shit's gross," and Kakyoin was like, "Thanks, it is pretty gross. Can I hang out with you?"
And then Kakyoin said, "Your mom's hot. Can I save her?" and then they said, "Yes, sir." And then they went.
You can call me Dad. Wait, what?
What? So they go out and they take a flight, but they shouldn't have, because Tower of Grey, who is
Tower of Greed. Pot of Greed.
Dude, I use Pot of Greed.
What will you do now, Jojo?
to draw 2 additional cards. Draw 2 additional tarot cards. But regardless, so they fight him, they kill him, and then they crash land in Hong Kong. They meet Polnareff. I fucking
Pornareff.
shut your damn
Porn
yap.
star ref.
Polnareff is another dude who was infected by Dio with the flesh bud,
And they give
And
him a
he-
pinch.
and he does a little slicey slice, and he cuts fire, which I don't know why or how that works, but they do.
You know, he can do that. Just it happens.
Yeah, and then Polnareff is like, "Hey, can I come with you? I'm trying to kill this 3-handed man, who killed
3-handed
and
man,
raped
2 left-handed man.
his younger sister. Also, by the way, Polnareff is named after Michel Polnareff, who is a French singer-songwriter who was popular from the mid-1960s to the early 1990s.
Very cool.
Based on a real Polnareff.
And he's been tweeting about Polnareff. The real-life Polnareff has been tweeting about the Jojo Polnareff on Twitter recently, which is very fun. So I wanted
Does
to
he have the same kind of hair? Yeah. Really?
kinda. He's got white hair, but it's not sticking up. It's more
I
wavy.
see.
It's a shame.
It could be coerced to stick up, I'm sure.
If he really wanted to, he could, but he doesn't. So
Look forward to that happening, please.
So then they go to Singapore, and they're on a cool little ship, and this person stowed away, and they're like, that could be the stand user. But then Jotaro started smoking and said, if you get cancer, you're a stand user, because lung cancer's not a joke.
and the
they
Emperor
all
was
touched
like,
their
"Oh!"
noses.
Or not Emperor, what the fuck?
Dark Blue Moon, the stinky stand, the swim stand.
Yeah, who's like who's pretending to be the captain. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And he was like, oh shit. And then they beat the shit out of him, and the girl dropped in the water, but then Jotaro saved him, blah, blah, blah. So the crew is now on the water, and then they find a ship with a monkey on it. The ship was the monkey stand. That's about it for that fight.
What is it with wacky stands and boats?
The girl was naked, which was really weird because she's like super young, and I didn't like it at all.
Yeah.
How old is she? She's like 0?
I think she said she was 12.
She's too young. too young to be sexualized the way that they do.
I don't think they sexualized it. I think
they showed her naked multiple times in the shower.
Well, what are you going to be? You're not going to be wearing a full set of clothes in the shower.
You don't have to show the shower scene at all.
Or just, like, use fog or whatever.
Yeah, but they're like, let's show the curves of this young girl.
And they do it to Babneref, too, and it's weird there.
Well, yeah, they do that.
Yeah.
It's wacky. But at least that was the fully grown woman. But regardless, let's go next. And then the monkey, they fight, and then the monkey gets killed. And then they go to Singapore. And then... Polnareff finds a little evil baby doll controlled by Devo the Cursed, named after the band Devo. You know, whip it good. So then they do that, and after that, Kakyoin was being faked by Rubber Soul, named after the Beatles album Rubber Soul. Which is a goopy one, which you get the or the
I think you mean
I did watch that one. I watched that.
Hey there, Jotaro, old buddy. You gonna finish that cherry? You know, cherries are my favorite.
That man, it's such a weird thing that they added those. Like he's also like the do you understand? It's so funny. But then they fight, and then they're like, let's go to India. And they get to Calcutta. And then they find G. Guile, who is the sand user for the Hanged Man.
Oh.
What?
You said Guile.
No. But named after the Jay Giles band. But his name in the dub was Centerfold, named by the song from Jay Giles band. So, you know, at least they did one of those. But then Whole Horse is the number 2. And we get to meet this funky cowboy named after Hall & Oates.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's what Iraqi says.
Not after a real horse?
No.
Not a whole ass horse?
No, not a whole ass horse, sadly.
Man.
But it's super good. I love Whole Horse. This is a super good fight. This is probably the first like really good fight, I think.
Yeah.
Because the Hanged Man ability is so interesting, because basically what Hanged Man does. Also, this is the part where the pig comes out of the toilet and licks the owner's asshole, but we don't talk about that.
Many bathroom incidents.
There's so many instances of talking about shitting and pissing, and like that's not
it's
a
real concern when you're. If you were to travel for 50 days, you'd be worrying about pooping too.
Well, I worry about pooping every day.
Well, but you're doing it in your own home. You're not that concerned about it.
Well, I am concerned about it if it doesn't come out my bum.
But
then it wouldn't be poop.
You're right. Guys, Whole Horse is real fun, though. He works, he shoots glass, and then he kills Avdol. Bang. And then they go find Centerfold or Jay Giles, whatever you want to call him. And that's a really cool fight, because Hanged Man goes through mirrors and like reflective surfaces, so it's super fun and super cool.
It was at this point where you started getting the 2-part episodes, or like around here, so...
Yeah, which...
they're a little stinky, I'm not gonna lie.
A lot of episodes didn't need to be 2-parters. Like, Emperor and Hanged Man, sure.
That one, yeah.
That one makes sense.
I give it a pass.
But then we get to later sections, later parts of the first season, and then a lot in the second season. So, Whole Horse runs away using the patented Joestar method. And then they kill Jay Guile. But then they keep going because Whole Horse ran away because Nina, who just seems like a pretty Indian girl according to the wiki. So they all go to a different town, Varanasi, and Joseph has a growth. It's not a good growth.
He's gotta get that checked out.
And then he does get it checked out, and then it kills
and then
the
it
guy.
murders the doctor.
And then grabs the scalpel, which is super funny. And then Joseph kills it eventually.
With Ham. Wait, no. Ham didn't work this time.
Ham didn't work because it was part of his body, technically. Which this was the Emperor's stand. And Nina was the girl, which is fun and crazy stuff. So after Nina is like blown up and dead and exploded because she becomes an old hag or whatever, they meet the stowaway girl again, and then they find out that there's this car that's really riding up on their ass, and they're like, "Come on, guys!" And Polnareff is driving, so obviously he's raging. He's going insane. But this stand, called Wheel of Fortune, which is really funny because it's a car.
Man, yeah. Araki really used every brain cell he had on this one.
Araki said...
waiting for Drew to show up.
Okay, guys, let's meet our contestants. But the
All the way
user
from
was
Egypt.
ZZ.
His name's Dio.
ZZ Top. Good reference there. And they destroy the car, and then they drop the girl off to take a plane to Hong Kong because she's a stowaway.
And we never see her again.
It's true, good. And then they go to Pakistan, and we're like, oh, okay. And so we find Enya/Enyaba, depending on who we want to talk about, who's named after the Irish singer Enya, kind of on the nose there. So Enya has this really spooky stand where she makes things out of fog. You can't punch fog, though, you silly boy. And she was also the father of Jay Guile /
That's father. Step right down, Miss Enya, Mr. Enya, but I'm so sorry.
I'm a woman!
I think that was one of the more funnier fights.
Yeah, I know. And then he sucks her in. And then holds her there, which is a really dumb thing, but I love it. And then the town becomes nothing because it was fake. It was a graveyard. They were all zombies. It was
fake.
Never real. It was fabricated. Fiction.
Lies, deception.
Made it up.
Our writers wrote that.
We don't have writers.
It was never real. I'm just thinking of that video of all of the things that he's like, we made it up. It's not real. A complete fabrication. So then they go to Karachi, which they bring Enyaba because why not? But then Steely Dan just kills her. Also Steely Dan, named after Steely Dan. Crazy. Or in the dub, Dan of Steel.
That one
which is really funny.
Yeah, that's one of the few good of the renames.
I like it. I just think it's silly.
Yeah.
And his stand was Lovers, which was a little man.
I like that
went
episode
into
a lot
Joseph's
too.
ear. And then
I like that episode. There was a lot of
should have been one part, not two.
that one I'll defend that one. I had a lot of fun with that one, not gonna lie.
You know what they
just because it was satisfying at the end.
They should have taken the second half of the second episode and made the sun half an episode.
Yeah, the sun should have been half.
So after Star Platinum kills the shit out of Steely Dan, which
gives him a tab.
Yeah, that was really good.
What are you writing there, Jotaro?
this is your receipt.
A list.
It's cool though.
List. Yeah, what I'm gonna do with you when my friends free my grandpa.
That looks like me in the hospital.
It's good though. It's interesting. Definitely one of the more creative stands, I think.
Yeah, they went Osmosis Jones.
It's true. I did make that joke in the Patreon chat. If you want to hear us talk about episodes and shows that we watch while we're watching it, join the Patreon for $1. You can join our Discord. But regardless, Steely Dan was fun. And then they go to the sun. They go to the UAE.
What a pointless episode.
Wait.
And they spend so much fucking time. I don't why did it have to... It was only a single episode, but why did it have to be a whole episode? Like the Tower of Grey episode. That was... The fight was only half the episode. And I think that's what it should have been done with the sun, because it's not really a fight. Literally, Star Platinum throws a rock at a mirror.
He said, wait a second.
And then they started giggling, and I went, ee-hee-hee-hee. So that was just really... God. And also, the stand user's name was Arabia Fats, which was a reference to Fats Domino, one of the pioneers of rock music. Shout out to Fats.
Oh.
Can't believe that name is on such a boring stand user.
I know, it sucks, right? But then we get to a good fight.
Death 13.
Guys, we get to Death 13, which is super fun. It's a baby stand. He writes it on his arm. Also, the baby's name is Manish Boy. Which is really funny.
Is that a reference to something?
It's a reference to Muddy Waters' song Manish Boy.
Huh?
Wow. Who would have guessed? Guys, there's a lot of references. Death 13's fun. It's a super interesting one because the whole cast minus Kakyoin doesn't even know that it happened. And now that Kakyoin has passed away, no one knows.
They're like, oh yeah, that one time. What are you talking about, Kakyoin?
Yeah, but that's a fun one. Death 13 was a really interesting one as well, because it was more of a mind game one than a punch one, which we love.
We love to think it.
We love to it. Oh,
we love to ponder.
Wait, am I a fool? Oh,
no, that's
I
Iggy.
am. I know I am the fool. I don't have the Death 13 card. I have the Justice 11 card.
Oh, lame. I love Death 13.
What's Justice? Oh, Justice is in Yabas. Okay. That's not too bad, I guess. But, so Death 13, is a baby stand, and then the baby gets defeated and then is fed poop. What if I were to disguise this baby food, and what if I were to disguise this baby's poop as my own cooking?
Delightfully devilish Kakyoin. Well, that isn't poop. That's baby food. Baby food, yes.
It's a shame we've already used enough. I think we've hit our Simpsons thumbnail quota, but
I don't think we had a Seymour Kakyoin one, so so baby stand fine. And then the baby was like, I'm gonna die. But then he didn't, he just fed him some food. And then they go to the Red Seed, where they find Muhammad Abdul's father.
Or so they think.
And then they're like, wow. The Frenchman, according to the wiki, it just says the Frenchman instead of Polnareff. But
is it hyperlinked at least?
They were really upset with him.
It's not hyperlinked because they've mentioned him before. So, okay. But so this is the Judgment fight, which is the Hail to You one, which is fun. I love it because it's dumb and it yells. That one probably only needed to be one part, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
Or like 1.5 instead of full 2 episodes.
I'm always conflicted with Abdul. I didn't want him to die, but then I didn't want him to come back after he died.
But then he died again, so it's fine.
Yeah, and then I was even angrier. It's like, why'd you bring him back if you're gonna kill him again?
Because he had to save him.
And they killed 2 people in that episode. Like, holy shit.
Well, they killed one episode, and then they killed a dog. So, decide on where your battles stand. But I love Iggy, so that's not even a dig at Iggy. I love Iggy.
A diggy, as you will.
Diggy, 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 can't you see? And then they also piss in the dude's snorkel, which is fun.
Oh, yeah.
I love the little conversation they had too. They're like the age-old ritual of men pissing together.
It's like, Abdul, are you sure you're okay?
Come on, piss with me, boy. So after that, they get a submarine that Abdul bought, which is a reference to the Yellow Submarine.
Yellow submarine.
Yep, which is cool and fun. And then after that, they fight. They fight a really cool High Empress, which
Why
you
is she
never
high?
actually see the stand user.
Except fucking dead, apparently.
Well, no.
With her teeth knocked
so there's
out.
a story about this. So first off, the user's name is Midler, named after Bette Midler.
Not the Riddler? Oh.
No, but what happened was, she was never seen, but for Heritage for the Future, which is the JoJo fighting game, they had to design a character for it. So they made like a belly dancer design for her.
Cool.
Nice.
So it's interesting because I don't know if it was Araki like actually did it. Let me see.
It's hard to say.
Well, I'm just gonna see if I can if it has a funny. They wanted to use Midler after her face. They asked Araki to redesign her. Okay, they did.
Cool.
Yeah, so this was technically a this was her official design was actually never seen in the series itself, only through extra media. So that's interesting.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. And then that's the end of part 1 of part 3.
What?
How'd you guys like the Journey to Egypt arc?
It's good.
Started real strong.
Yeah. It's pretty
Then it got a little weird.
You can definitely tell that this is Araki's first time working with stands.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
But there's still some really good ideas.
Oh yeah,
early
no,
on.
there's some really, especially with like Lovers was really cool because it was more of a mind game thing, and then also in Yaba's being
the
sucking
McLovers.
holes, and Whole Horse is perfect. So, but then they go to a desert, and then the Speedwagon Foundation brings a little dog named Iggy, reference to Iggy Pop. The singer of Passenger and the like, which is cool. And he's a dog. He farts a lot. He likes caffeinated gum.
Just
Hey, you want
strange
some
little.
gum?
Delicious. He's a strange little dog.
Please put away.
I don't like Iggy. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Really? I love
I
Iggy.
still hate Iggy. From the moment I saw him to the moment he died, I felt no remorse.
Really?
No remorse.
Nah, man. We'll talk about it later. But the pet shop fight is when I really fell in love with Iggy.
I also, well, I don't dislike Iggy. I feel very indifferent towards Iggy. Just, I don't know.
Yeah, I was indifferent until the pet shop fight, and then I'm like, okay, I love
Well, the
this
pet
guy.
shop fight is really good, but
And we'll
I
get to
don't
that in a second.
Yeah.
Like the second half of the second season of part 3 is phenomenal. So we'll get to that real quick. So they fight Nadul, who is a water stand guy who controls the water and is blind, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And also, this is the introduction to no longer tarot cards, but Egyptian gods and goddesses.
Obelisk the Tormentor, I summon you.
Sorry, I'm still running on Yu-Gi-Oh.
It's fine. That's what Yu-Gi-Oh's all about. That's why Yu-Gi has the pyramid.
That's why he has Hamo.
It's true. But then
I'll be honest.
But then Jotaro and Iggy fly over and then punches the shit out of him.
I'll be honest. The first time I watched this episode, I fell asleep through the whole thing.
Oh no, it's fun.
I didn't find it fun at all. And then when I rewatched it, I'm like, why don't I remember this episode? It's
Like,
what
whoa,
the hell?
new stand.
I was like, whoa, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
This guy's blind. But,
It's interesting.
It was, yeah, I guess it was interesting. I guess I understand why I might have fallen asleep when I originally watched it. But I was like, well, they can't all be good. So it's fine.
Meow.
Unfortunate.
So after they beat him, they go meet Oingo and Boingo, two brothers. Where Oingo has... Oh, yeah, by the way, it's... their names are Oingo Boingo from the band Oingo Boingo.
Wow.
Oh, whoa, I've never heard of them before.
Yeah. Actually, whatchamacallit, in the anime, they're called Zenyatta and Mondada, which is a album by the Police.
Oh.
So it's a different reference, but it's still a relatively, like, you know, they're related. They're close enough of a reference to each other.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
That's pretty epic. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, Oingo can make his face different, so he has a long Jotaro hat, and then Boingo has
Mr. Two.
has the manga that can tell the future. And that's just... This is... they do a lot more silly episodes in the second season, which I really love.
That's a prime example of manga. Read the manga, bro. You just know. They read the manga, so they knew it was going to happen.
They did know what was going to happen, but then he blew up with a tangerine, and then Oingo and Boingo both got beat up by the dude that they kicked and stole money from. But that's another story for another day.
It happens.
But it was fun. He had a long
I
time.
liked it.
And that was a one episode one, which was perfect. It did not need to be a longer.
Hey, Jotaro, do that thing you do, you know, with the cigarette.
Yeah, he's like, what thing that I do? This. And then he flips the cigarette in his mouth.
Now do it with 5.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's funny. It's really good stuff. I love...
That one's real good. I love it.
It's very fun. So then after they fight Oingo and Boingo, they go to the stand that I completely forgot about.
Me too.
Is, I think, the most forgettable stand. The sword.
It's a good idea, too. It's just execution.
Yeah,
Stands can be inanimate objects.
Yeah, well, like, I understand that, but it's just like I'm tired of that. It's boring. But his first user, Caravanserai, was named after the Santana album, Caravanserai. So,
Sorry.
shout out to Santana. And then also, his other 2 users were Chaka and Khan, named after Chaka Khan.
Shaka Khan.
Yep.
Sugar Conroy. Wait, no.
You're right. It's fun. Like, it's another, like, kind of high stakes, but not super high stakes.
I thought that was cool. The Polnareff kind of shined in that one. I liked it.
Yeah. He's Polnareff, but also has a lot of low points in this show. Like, he goofs up a fair bit.
Literal toilet humor.
It's true, but it's fine.
See, we could have had 2 of them. But the whole
man,
horse
I wish, right?
was no
what,
horse.
What could have been. But yeah, after they do the fight, he breaks off and then goes into the Nile after stabbing a cow in the butt.
As you do.
As you do. And then... Oh yeah, we didn't talk about... Nodule blinds Kakyoin, so he's not here for a bit. But that's fine. So then they go to Luxor, and Joseph touches an outlet like a child, like a little
like,
baby. He's like,
let me touch.
And then,
Ow!
And then Mariah, named after Mariah Carey.
Oh, dude. Love Mariah Carey.
It's funny, but she's the magnet girl. Who makes Joseph a magnet and then makes Avdol a magnet, and then they smash her with their magnetism.
And they smash each other. Wait, no.
Well, they do. That was
Mr. Joestar, if I go any further, they'll get the wrong idea.
It doesn't matter. What are you looking at? Down on me. It's so good. I think
it's the perfect mix of humor and
I don't know
seriousness.
if it should have been 2 episodes or only 1.
I had a good time with both. I laughed in both. So
they weren't bad episodes. It probably could have been done in 1, but this one was one of the ones that I was like, it's fine that it's 2. And then they get the set fight, which should have been 1 episode. This is probably my prime like complaint. Like, this is the one that like shows off to me the most. Like, it's, you know, kind of a fun fight. We hear Gon. He carries a fetus around for a while, which is kind of weird.
That was a little weird. I completely forgot she turned to a fetus. I was like, what is he gonna? Oh no!
Yeah. And then he's like, I don't know the kid that was there. And then they play the bang 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 music.
The sad song.
Yeah. Polnareff could have gotten laid that night, but instead he said, no. I saw you
Poor
as
guy.
a fetus. That's a major turnoff.
I already saw your naked body. There was nothing there.
I think I'll just turn and cut my losses.
But now,
But you're missing an earring.
but there's a little vignette where Whole Horse tries to shoot Dio, and then Whole Horse is like, "I'm baby, I can't do that. I'll fight again."
I'll do it again.
And then we get to Cairo, which has the best fights in the season. And first, we get Darby the Gambler, who is
Mr. Juster.
which is my favorite fight in Part 3.
That's the best fight.
The older Darby fight is so good.
Darby Senior.
Darby Senior that's such a fun fight because it's not the traditional we gotta fight them. This man literally like dies. Basically, he like passes out and like gives up the will to fight on, and it's super cool because it's all these mind games that like you get a lot more in the future JoJo, and you can like see where Araki's like, oh, I can make these kinds of stands, one that aren't specifically Punch Ghost. I'm just gonna make dudes into potato chips. But this is a super fun fight. We have, hello, Mr. Go ahead, Mr. Joster. The Darby fights, both of them have perfect Japanglish, and that's just how it is. And he screams and he tries to raise, and he goes.
Just the sheer fact that a Darby Elder could have just like wiped the floor with everybody at that point, I was just like, well, damn. They really aren't farting around here in Cairo.
Yeah, I think that's one of the other really cool things about stands is that, like we talked about actually last episode with Stampede, Pino and I talked about how like Devil Fruit like match up differently for different like powers. Mm-hmm. So that's the same thing with stands. Like some stands are just like super like just like have a distinct advantage over others. And like some aren't all combat centric, so I really love that in this. But yeah. Oh,
information don't come free.
It's true.
4 iced teas.
Glug glug glug. Never seen it. Oh man, that's also an iconic scene of them just slugging down those iced teas.
It's really funny. I don't know what it is.
It's just so simple and like so dumb.
The boys are thirsty.
Yeah, the boys are thirsty.
They didn't need to do it, but they did it, and that's what I love about it. But they do the Darby fight, and then they're like, "Wow, I wonder what we're gonna do next." But then, while they're doing that, everyone else starts looking. Oh wait, no, I'm a fucking fool. They're walking around, and then Whole Horse shows up and fucking just says, "Oh shit, there's Polnareff. I'm gonna stick my fingies up his nose because that's what the funny manga said." And that's a really fun fight too because it's once again not very like super combat centric. It's just like the inevitable, quote unquote, and you're like, how would they do that? And then Whole Horse's clock is too fast, like a fool, and then he gets shot in the head, and then
damn, and that's the end of Whole Horse.
Yeah, poor guy.
Yeah, poor man. I really liked him. Oh, and then what was it? Zenyatta? No, was that the little one's name?
Yeah, well, or Boingo.
Boingo. Yeah, Boingo, he was like, I'm going to turn over a new leaf. And Iggy's like...
He said, yeet. And then he was also sad. And then after that, we get the pet shop fight. A super cool fight. I don't know if I like Iggy talking, but that's okay.
I gotta see if Iggy talks in the manga too.
I think Iggy thinks in the manga.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. He out the words.
But yeah, this is a super fun fight with Pet Shop being a hawk, so jeez, what are you doing?
Nothing.
It's 2 pet stands.
Meow, 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 meow. What do you mean 2 pet stands? You mean 2 animals?
2 animal pet stands. And then they fight, and it's icy wind, which is super cool. And then Iggy is saved by the child that Iggy saved earlier. So good deja vu. And then Iggy
he lost a foot.
It's true. Iggy lost a front paw. Poor guy. And then they find the mansion thanks to Iggy. Then
Iggy finally being useful for once.
No,
sorry.
And then they find Darby, the younger Darby.
Let's play a video game.
And then he says,
"He's a gamer, dude.
That's a baseball.
F Mega.
F Mega. Select your car.
Jaggers.
Red
Dragons.
Oh, it's so fun. It's just that's another mind,
yeah.
Man, I felt so upset. Kakyoin was like, "I'm gonna win,"
and then he loses.
And he loses. Yeah,
he hasn't played Mario Kart before. Apparently,
I was like, "You just brought him back. This is the first thing he sees, and he loses."
That's not Mario Kart. That's F-Zero. F-Zero is way more fun.
F Mega.
So the little dolls, the way they animated them is really freaky. Did y'all not? Were y'all not freaked out like I was?
I was a little freaked.
I was pretty spooked.
Yeah, they were a little weird. I mean, some people just like those kind of stuff.
I'm scared.
Oh. Oh, hello.
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 Sorry, Jake, my cat.
JB, you're gonna be on another thumbnail. Let's go.
Yeet. I already have the transfer.
It's gonna be Jamie's face and a Jotaro hat.
That'd actually be pretty good.
Or you know what? It's gonna be Jamie with Dio hair.
Yeah, sometimes she is a little more Dio-like, but she's not quite as graceful in her movements.
But yeah, so Darby fight super fun. Darby fight super good, and then the other ones. 1 second, people are messaging me. I'm gonna cut this out.
Your turn, Mr. Chuckster.
Oi, GG.
1 second. People.
Mohammed Abdul. Jean-Pierre Bonner.
Oi, GG. Damn it, bitch.
Oingo, brother.
You do your street
Left. Oh, we're having a lot of fun here in the Funky Anime Podcast.
The Funny Noises Podcast.
Funny Noise Podcast.
FAP.
What the hell was this? Oh no! Oh, I gotta share this to all my friends. But also, this is the weirdest thing I ever saw too. Dude, Jorge Gilberto.
What?
Did you
What?
It sounded like the second one. This second one's real terrible. I shouldn't have opened Twitter.
There goes the Jaguar.
Durger.
Okay, guys, I've done it.
Oh yes, I'll use the power of my stand.
Guys, after the Darby fight, while Joseph, Jotaro, and Kakyoin are all vibing, Polnareff, Iggy, and Abdul are like, we should go in now. And they said, oh, okay.
Yeah, what's up with that? Why'd they split up like that?
Well, because the three of them got sucked in, and then they said, burn down the house, like that song that the Talking Heads did, but then they didn't.
That's
and
it.
So then they, so then what they did
was not burn the house
is
down.
what they walked in, and then they saw a bunch of little rooms. So then for some reason, Abdul uses a little fucking compass thing that you could find on
Amazon.
No, not on Amazon, on Blender. It's 6 directions, all the X, Y, and Z axes. And then it's like, there's something there. And it's Kenny
There's
G.
something on my canvas. Oh, no, Kenny G.
Yeah, and Kenny G. Oh, there's a fucking fly in my room. I still want to kill it. It's the fly that found out Dio. But yeah, so Kenny G got killed. And also, Kenny G was actually renamed to Billie Jean in the dub.
What a...
It's not my love.
He's stuck in a wall.
And he gets killed and he dies. But then, before Abdul reads a funny little note on the wall that says he will die after he reads this, like the death note.
And then turn around.
And then he does, and then he pushes the other guys out of the way and gets consumed by Vanilla Ice, named after Vanilla Ice, and his localized name, Cool Ice, which is a reference to the film and song Cool Ice by Vanilla Ice. So, you do as you do.
It worked out. It worked out at the end.
Yes.
Yes.
Which, is really funny. I love. And that is a brutal fucking fight, let me tell you.
Oh, yes.
I loved it. It is so much. It's such like a brutal and good fight, though. Like,
Iggy, watch out.
Yeah, no. And then Iggy saves Polnareff, but then Polnareff like stabs him so many times. But you see earlier that Vanilla Ice chops his own head off, and then
he's just fine.
Yeah, then because Dio gave him his vampire blood, so then he became vampire blood.
Vampire.
Yes, and then they fight, but then finally Polnareff gets saved by Iggy by being held up, and then finally Polnareff kills Cream, which is the Vanilla Ice stand.
Oh, haha. Sorry. You just got it.
Good one. And then Iggy dies as he carries up Polnareff, and then Vanilla Ice gets pushed into the sunlight and dies because he's a vampire.
Why didn't they name it like
Tiny Tim? I don't know.
Well, no, like
Because he wouldn't be home for Christmas.
no, like Clapton. If he's gonna be Cream, like
Hey, I'm
why?
Clapton.
Why Vanilla Ice?
Hey, it's me, Clapton.
Because it's funny. Because Vanilla Ice is what Iraqi likes, and also Cream is a reference to Cream the band.
Cream the Rabbit.
Yes,
No.
Cream, the band that has Eric Clapton.
Yes, sir.
And that's why I said you should have just called it Clapton.
No, because Vanilla Ice and then Ice Cream is really funny, okay?
Hey, it's me, Clapton.
Or Cool Ice Cream, okay?
Ice cream, ice cream, ice
So
ice
then
cream.
Suzy Q comes to Tokyo, and Holly's dying, and Joseph and Jotaro are fighting for her. But then they find a little vampire, a little shitty boy, a little shitty 4 foot nothing, little rat
loser.
boy hiding the walls boy.
How did you know they used to call me loser?
Good grief. But yeah, so they get him, and then he opens up the coffin, which it's empty. But Dio was in there before. What happened?
Oh, it wasn't empty.
They all book it, and Polnareff wants to say, but Joseph wraps his stand around his neck and yanks him out.
Yoink!
Which is very funny.
Chuck, can you give me a real good yoink, please?
Yoink! Okay. Oh, that hurt a lot. But then they start fighting, and they split up because, Scooby-Doo rules.
That does rule, doesn't it?
It's true. They go.
Jaw rule. Is there a stand called
and
Jaw
Dio,
rule?
what?
I hope it's someday.
Maybe. Who could say? But so The World by Dio, which we know Dio is a reference to Dio the band, because of course it is. Yeah?
That's the sound it makes. Pino did the first part. Yeah.
Whenever I hear that sound, I can only think of the Bart Uses the World video, which is the funniest JoJo video. Either that or literally me stando, or the one with Tom and Jerry. I can't remember the name of that one. Those are all great, but regardless. Also, apparently the world's design could have been inspired by Murray, the demonic-looking mascot of Dio.
Hey, Murray! Oh.
The demonic mascot of what?
Dio, the band.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know they had a mascot.
Yeah, it's the one on many other covers. It's got like horns and chains and shit. It's wacky, but
very cool.
That's also speculation, so that might not be true. God, this
well,
fucking bug.
I mean, it's educated guess.
Yeah. So he's finally rounding. They fight, and Kakyoin is like, "I'm gonna fucking figure out what your stand is." Then he figures it out, but then he gets fucking a hole blasted in the middle of his chest.
Well, he got his hole blasted in the middle of his chest after he didn't find out till after he'd gotten.
Well, yeah, it's called The World, where it freezes time, and after that he shoots the clock to stop the hands. Joseph is like, "This must be a sign," and he jumps around a lot of the buildings.
He Spider-Mans it.
He does. Give me pictures of Joseph.
He's a menace.
Dio, he's a menace.
He keeps breaking our cameras.
That's why I can't get any reporters to take a picture of him.
Maybe I can get this bug. He's sitting on the wall. No, he's not anymore. Fuck. Okay.
Dude, that's the bug stand in the plane.
It's the bug where they found Dio in Egypt. That Star Platinum drew a very high quality picture of.
The tsetse fly.
That can only be found in Egypt.
I know because I'm an Egyptian.
And I ran away.
And I read a book. But yeah. And then Joseph gets stabbed and loses conscience, which is not great.
He goes, ouchie.
But then Jotaro and Dio start fighting. Dio says Muda a lot. Jotaro can move and stop. I'm not giving this enough credit, but I'm just making this quick because you've probably already watched it if you're listening to this. If not, what the fuck? But yeah, so after he does some fighting, Jotaro gets smacked on the ground, and he uses the Joestar special #2 of faking his death.
That is true. That is a Joestar special. Now that you brought it to my attention.
Yeah, and he's on the ground, and he stuffed his outfit with books.
And he stopped his heart.
And then he restarted his heart, and then Polnareff was there, but then Jotaro moves his fingies, and then he brings out a fucking sign and is about to slice Jotaro's head off, which I completely forgot that happens. And then it just gets blocked, which is so nice. Good stuff.
Blocked and bonked.
It's true. And then Dio's head gets crunched, and then he becomes paraplegic, where he can't walk. And then he gets pulled by a car, but then Jotaro throws a knife at the car's wheel, which is super cool.
Yeah.
Like, what? he just tosses it and stops. And then after a while, the vampire Dio, he's like, "Ooh, You brought me to the correct place. Joseph's body, and then he sucks the blood, and he goes, and he becomes strong again. Then Dio tries to go, roll-da-roll-da-da-da, and it was great because it was subbed, and I completely forgot about that until it happened, and then it was, and I went, yes, this is my favorite. But then finally, Dio gets frozen in time, and then Dio kicks Star Platinum, who punches the leg. Star Platinum's hand cracks, but then Dio's leg cracks, and that's such a cool moment in the show. I love it. It's good.
It's very good.
It's very good.
Very good, just.
And now, Jotaro brings back Joseph with a blood transfusion and restarting
and Joseph
the heart.
fucks with him. He's
And
like,
then
"Oh, you fool!"
And then he's
Wait,
like,
it's me.
He's like,
I'm kidding.
That who sings the Beat It parody, Eat It.
Alan
Yankovic. It's great.
Of course, only you would know something so useless.
But then Jotaro also knows that.
Little did you know, Dio loves Weird Al.
Hey, who doesn't, right? But it's good. It's good stuff. And then Jotaro and Joseph think about Kakyoin, Avdol, and Iggy, and they played the bing, 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 bing song again, and I get sad. They go to the El Puerto. I don't know why I said the airport, but, happens. Pino knows what's up. And then they fly back. Polnareff goes back to France, and then Joseph and Jotaro fly to Japan, and then they look at the picture that they took at the start of the Egypt arc, and I teared up a little bit, and then that's the end.
They did it.
Guys, they did it.
Wow, wow, wow. They took the last plane home.
It's good. I like the ending a lot. The Dio fight's so fun. I forgot how cool the Dio fight was.
My eyes were glued to the screen from the Darby fight until the end.
You should get the glue off your eyes.
Thanks. I really am struggling here. Help.
Blink once if you need help. No, you can't open them.
Oh, no. But yeah, very fun, very cool. And the story does drag a little bit. At times, especially during some of these stand fights. But it's okay. I don't think it should have been a 48 episode series. I think the other series understand it, and they go down to 39 episodes per part, which I think is a much better choice than this. So I think I don't know if this is controversial or not, but I feel like part 3 is the weakest animated part in JoJo.
Yeah.
Because, part 1 and part 2 are short. They set up the story. Part 2 is fantastic. Part 1 has a lot of heavy lifting to set up the world and Hamun and everything. And then part 4 is fucking fantastic. Part 5 is fucking fantastic. So
I don't know if I can agree with that. Because
of course.
I like the manga for part 1, but I don't really care much for the anime.
I think
what about Froggy?
Froggy. Here's Mr. Froggy here. But I think that the thing that does part 1 and part 2 well is that they're shorter. That they're
True.
10 and 13 episodes each. Because they don't need to be longer than that. And I don't feel like the pacing suffered at all in those. This one, I feel like the pacing is a bit rough at places.
Yeah.
So none of the other parts really have that issue. So that is probably why I think it's the weakest. It's still, when I say weakest, I am not saying it's bad. I love JoJo. I love this part. This part's super fun, but animated wise, I think it could have been better.
Well, they just could have cut out a lot.
Well, yeah, that would have been better. But
is what I believe.
Well, but whatchamacallit. So that's all JoJo Part 3. No points before we get into some funny characters.
Go.
Guys, let's talk about Jotaro. He's cool as hell and he punches strong.
He's a little too cool sometimes, especially in the manga. They give him like all sorts of one-liners and it kind of gets obnoxious.
I like him. I don't understand his hat still.
Oh my god, I love... Did you see the images of the live-action Jotaro? He had to shave the middle of his hair and then spike the side so it would look like his hair and his hat meshed. And it's so funny. It's such a good image. I'll maybe retweet it on the podcast Twitter if I remember. I won't, but if I do, I will. But it's super funny. I love Jotaro. He's not my favorite JoJo, but he's a fun one. He's cool as heck and he's smart and keeps his cool under pressure. He's definitely still like a big strong guy, but he's not the same type of JoJo as Joseph or as Jonathan. So it's very nice. I like it.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Guys, Joseph Joestar comes back. I love Joseph.
We love him.
He's always fun. He says, "Holy shit.
Oh my god."
He's great.
Son of the beach.
Son of the beach is so good. I love Son of the beach. But I don't know what other things to talk about him, because we've already talked about him before. If you want to hear us talk about him more in detail, he's less of a player than in his own part, which is good because we have Jotaro already. Muhammad Avudul, he's a fine character. He's like probably the weakest link out of the main 6 Stardust Crusaders.
Yeah, he doesn't really show much personality until after he's dead and comes back, and even then, after that, it just kind of drops.
He doesn't show that much anyway. Yeah. So he's fine.
Yeah.
No complaints, but no super compliments. Want to talk about Kakyoin?
Oh my goodness gracious, do I want to talk about Kakyoin?
Talk about
that
Kakyoin.
red hair.
Yeah, he's cool. And it's a shame he got kicked out halfway, but I don't know. It kind of made it all the more fun when he came back.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. And he didn't, they didn't fake him out. He
just said, "My eyes!"
Yeah.
Have you seen the dubbed video of the OVA where Polnareff is like, "Kakyoin! Kakyoin! They got his eyes!" It's very funny. I love it. But speaking of Polnareff, what a funny Frenchman. He goes, "Slice, slice, slice.
Hon, hon, hon.
Hon, 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 hon." He's great.
French bread and French fry and all that.
He's really fun, kind of a hothead, gets himself into situations that shouldn't, but that's how it
Often toilet related.
It happens, dude. Sometimes you really just gotta go take a dumperino.
And sometimes there just really is a pig under there.
Sometimes a pig just sticks his head out of your porta potty and you go, "Oh, no thanks."
Sometimes they just gotta lick your butt.
But yeah, I like Polnareff, even though he is frustrating at times, because if he just had common sense, a lot of his issues could have been avoided. But that's how it'd be.
Well, you gotta
have died the first time.
When you gotta have a flaw in your characters,
Yeah, I guess. How about Iggy though? Well, little dog boy. I love Iggy.
Ugh, disgusting.
Oh.
Yeah, Iggy is certainly in the show.
I'm just glad that
he's
I'm
there.
just glad that he's not ugly Iggy.
I mean, he was ugly Iggy for the first half.
Yeah, for the first couple episodes, he was ugly.
And every now and then it peeks through.
Well,
and
because
then they're like, "We got to make him pretty."
Well,
and then I hated him even more.
The manga is disgusting. So then, there was a transformation because after after, I don't know what the, let me see if there's trivia about him. Yeah, no, Araki created Iggy because he just wanted to add a pet to the Joestar group. And he picked the Boston Terrier because black and white was easier to depict in manga.
Smart man.
And also in the fighting game Heritage for the Future, when Set is used on Iggy to make him a baby, he reverts into ugly Iggy, which is very
that's soft brain Iggy.
Yeah, some real soft brain hours with Iggy. But I like his like better design. So that's good. Also, there's a really funny image of Iggy in the Golden Wind anime with a flashback, and Iggy is like ugly, so ugly. It's so funny. So look that up if you want to.
Hey, wait a second! I didn't watch this part yet.
It's just a flashback. No. It's a funny JPEG.
It's just a flashback, but I see the saber. Well, wait, this isn't Fate Zero.
Oh no. But yeah, Iggy. I like Iggy. He's funny looking.
He's ugly. Oh. I hate him. I didn't like him from day one.
Under his profile, under intelligence, it just says seems high. And his occupation is
not the number. His he's just high all the time.
And his occupation is freeloader.
Occupation dog.
That would have been funny. But yeah, I love it. Also, by the way, if you guys play Eyes of Heaven, abilities are called they're called Jojolities, which is very funny to me. Just want to let you know that. But
gotta get my Jojolities.
I want to talk about Dio.
Yeah.
How about the world? Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
Cool.
And roller da.
Roller da.
Yeah. Dude, I really forgot how much of a fucking dickhead Dio really is.
Like, just like an asshole?
Yeah. He's just a piece of shit.
It's true.
I liked when we had more diggy.
Diggy. You see?
No, I miss having Dio in the front, like when we were in part 1, where he was just like, he was there. And like in part 3, he's like, aha, you can see me. Yeah. I can see you.
I'm so elusive.
Oh,
I don't know. I'm glad though that like it's cool that they brought him back, but I'm glad they don't like rest on him too much.
That's true. It could have been,
because it could have just been every part Dio comes back, and I'm glad they didn't take that route, which is
yeah. I just wanted to see more of him in this series. I feel like as much as how epic the final fight was, it was kind of short, mostly because everything else was given like 2 episodes. And I was like, well,
Hey Pino, how about you read some parts, and then maybe you'll find a couple of Dios.
Read?
Pino, you read the whole thing of quintessential quintuplets. I think you can read some JoJo.
If I can even read JoJo.
Yeah, if Garb can read, you can read. But yeah, Dio's fun. I love Dio.
He's an asshole. I love him.
He's great.
He's got muscles. I love it.
Guys, it's Friday again.
Finally.
JoJo Friday?
Finally Friday. It felt so nice to watch part 3 and like stay up to date for a little bit and always have JoJo Fridays.
Man,
whenever part 6 get released, I will actually have to watch that weekly because I really want to see part 6 animated.
You didn't watch part 5 live, did you?
I've watched the first half of it live.
That's fair.
And then I was like,
live in studio audience.
Yeah, it's Saturday Night Live
featuring Kenan Thompson. But yeah.
Musical guest Green Day.
This episode hosted by Charlie.
Wait a gosh darn minute.
Yeah?
That's not the Friends.
What?
You see, that's the Friends opening.
I don't know what you're talking about, Pino.
Roll the tape. Use your power.
There it is. You cannot fool us.
What do you mean? We rewinded in time.
Shit.
You told us that. You changed the timeline. Now that never happened.
Oh no!
Oh.
A cruel twist of fate.
Ah, it happened. I knew it.
What?
It was always meant to happen.
Wait, Pino,
One of us
that
had a
was
mess
Friends.
up.
That's not Saturday Night Live's theme at all.
I was
can't
thinking it
believe
was
this,
Green
Pino.
Days. Go back in time, do it again.
Ah, fuck.
Welcome to Saturday Night Live. I'm Andy Richter.
Hi, Andy. Why are you on Saturday Night Live?
Oh no, Dave, turn it back.
Get me out of here. Guys, welcome to the newest episode of the Fuck Yeah Babe podcast. Today we watched Jojo's Bizarre Adventure Part 3, Stardust Crusaders.
Shit, too far
Guys,
back.
can
I go forward?
Have you guys watched Stardust Crusaders before? Guys, welcome to the first episode of the Fuck Yeah Anime podcast, a new podcast that we're going to do every other week.
I meant to go forward.
I
went the wrong
we
way.
watched JoJo Part 1.
No, we sounded way shittier than that. Is this forward?
Welcome
Me,
to the end
Gungaga.
times.
No.
You fast forwarded way too far.
Fucking
One Piece
Lavos
still
in the
hasn't
background.
ended.
What'd you say, Bono?
One Piece still hasn't ended, and it's too late. We're all dying.
102.
The return of Wano. Do you guys want to talk about any other characters before we go into Miscellaneous?
No.
No.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Oh, Marcar.
Oh my god.
But guys, do you think we're forgetting something?
No, not at all.
Oh, you're dumb
Not
and
even the
wrong
best
because
bit?
welcome to the 68th edition of Who's the Best Girl, the part of the podcast where each contestant puts forward their choice of Best Girl of the episode and duke it out for title of Best Girl. Today our contestants, once again, Pino, Garb, myself, and the Patreon. Who are we each advocating for?
I pick Kekyoin.
I picked Polnareff.
I picked Joseph Joestar.
And guess what? The Patreon picked Polnareff too.
Woohoo! Thank you for
They-
not picking Iggy to torture.
Thank you.
Well, I would
Despite the
have
fact that-
had to do it, so that's fine.
Despite the fact that they still predicted that I'd be picking the same thing that the patrons picked. I didn't think they were going to pick Polnareff. I'll be honest with you.
They knew. That's their stand. Oh my goodness. Oh my god.
Oh my
God. Please sit down. Please.
Who wants to
sit the
talk
fu-
first? I can talk first if you guys want me to talk first.
Go.
Guys, Joseph is a funny man. Have you ever considered that? Guys, please.
No.
Old man.
He's funny looking.
Oh, you're funny looking. Guys, Joseph Joestar has done so much. And he has a funny little stand that has thorns on it.
That'll poke you. You gotta watch out.
Yeah, poke your eye.
Yeah, but he's married.
He is married.
Oh,
That didn't stop him.
Yeah.
Ah,
He's very
Damn.
buff. His ass is fucking huge.
massive.
He has this cool little hat, and he's got this really nice beard.
He looks too shiny in this anime.
I love him. He's shiny.
But he will never be home. He's always traveling.
In the OVA, his hair was blonde.
What the hell?
Here, I'll send you a picture. But it's blonde hair, so it's a good look on him, I think. But canon, well, not canon. They don't have any canon color schemes technically. But he was also in Battle Tendency, which already gives him a huge advantage. And he also says all the funny lines like "Oh my God,"
Oh my god.
and he'll never
Oh, Mark
forgive the
Carr.
Japanese because they married his daughter, which is very funny. And also, Pino, he uses hamon.
With queso?
Yeah.
Yum.
He can also use it with his
Gyros.
stand, so we can use both stand hamon and cool little stand. And also, he used to have clackers at one point,
Balls
And he
of
used to sound
steel.
like Nigel Uno.
and he also is voiced by Bobobo. So
That is true. Well, in the anime or in the English dub, that is.
also his favorite food is fried chicken. And
Real.
and his hobby is collecting manga. So like,
Yeah. Well, comic book. They specifically say comic books.
Well,
because he's American.
Well, according to his hobbies, it says collecting comic books and manga. So.
Okay, I did not know he collected manga. They only he does say in the Amber Lamps, he's like, I like collect comic books. He does not mention.
He does
manga.
collect.
Amber Lamp.
He does collect.
Why the man body still?
Get the Amber Lamps. Oh, I love that. But yeah, Joseph's fun.
Why Joseph body still on there?
Get an Amber Lamp. Why have we put him in the same one?
Oh man, good times.
But yeah, I love it. I love Joseph a whole lot. And he also got really nice eyes.
He does have good eyes.
And his name's Mr. Joestar.
Yeah, but he's no Polnareff.
Well, Polnareff is no Joestar though.
Yeah, but who needs to be a Joestar? Who needs to be front and center? Nobody. When you got cool ass hair like Polnareff.
But okay.
It's true.
And he's got a
does have pretty
sword.
cool hair.
He's got a sword.
He does have a sword. That's true.
And he can launch it.
He can shoot it, but only. And he can also take off his armor that he only does once.
Also extremely flexible somehow by leaning up against the floor and doing a weird pose while talking about his past.
Yes. Also, don't look up the Polnareff wiki until you're farther along in JoJo.
I'm looking up the Polnareff.
Don't. No, Pino, seriously, this is not a joke.
No, I saw it. No.
No.
No, I'm kidding. I have no idea.
No,
I just
but
know something
Polnareff
about a
is
turtle.
Pretty cool, but his hair's a little bit too long. It's too. You could eat dinner off of his head.
Yeah, as the stability is endless, man. The usefulness is there.
Mm.
You know when you know somebody cares when they style their hair, and you can tell that it takes like hours.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
he
that'll
could be a
take
paintbrush.
hours.
Yeah. Have you ever considered that you might need to require his services to paint a canvas?
That would be really funny to watch.
Yeah. Also, he's French, so
Hon.
yeah. You ever want fresh baguettes in the morning?
I don't know if I want French baguettes in the morning.
It's not really a morning bread.
What? Okay, I'm
Not in America.
Since I can be on the Polnareff wiki, one of his trivia facts is that there are strong parallels between Polnareff and Inigo Montoya from the movie and novel The Princess Bride.
Hey, look, even another one, dude. His name is Polnareff. Jean-Pierre Polnareff. You killed my sister. Prepare to die.
Both are first foes and then allies. Both are master swordsmen, and both sworn vengeance against a man with a deformed hand.
Damn.
Whack.
Indeed.
But Inyama told me I was perfect the way I was. It's because she also has. Doesn't she also have two left hands?
No, he has 6 fingers on his right hand. And also,
wait, Mr. Inyaba.
No. Wait, what? No, I thought I thought you were talking about the prince from Princess Bride.
Oh no, he's got
But yes, Inyaba I think has.
No, I don't think
also.
so.
Well, she definitely does in the anime in at least one scene where she's got two right hands.
Let me look at that. No, her hand got hurt, remember?
Well, no, this was in a flashback. The scene I'm specifically thinking of is
you're
whenever
right.
they're...
You're right. Never mind. I'm dumb as hell.
Yeah.
I found it. But yeah.
Also, they colored Dio's lips wrong one time. Like, right after he got the green lips, the immediate, scene change after, they forgot, and then it was back to green lips after that.
Good. Guys, Polnareff is too dumb. That man has no brain cell. His head too big.
I'm not one to judge.
He's like
on
Jimmy
that front.
Neutron, head too big, no brain. His head
You know
full of
who-
rocks.
You know whose brain is big? Kakyoin.
That's true.
Oh, he's got big brain.
He does have big brain, and he's so cute.
You know, you can always rely on his Emerald Splash because it can't be deflected.
Can't be
it cannot
deflected.
be blocked whatsoever.
Cannot.
And he had to die, man. He died so that they could find out.
Yeah, you picked a
The
dead
secret.
guy. Kind of cringe, bro.
Well, I really like him. I never liked him before until I read the manga, and then I don't know. I just started.
I didn't really like him in the anime.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I don't really care much for anime Kakyoin, but the manga makes.
Well,
me
isn't
really
his
like
dub voice the isn't he Gohan's voice actor, like older Gohan?
Well,
Maybe.
give me a second.
It does sound a little like it.
Yeah,
I wanna say it is.
Hibbert. Yep.
Kyle, yeah, it's Kyle.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that's why. His voice. I was just like, this is Gohan. This has to be Gohan. I'm not looking it up.
Yeah,
This is Gohan.
it's Gohan, and it's what's his name? He's also Apu, Apul, and he's also the Ox King, which is really fun because we love the Ox King, and he's also in.
Oh no, that's Yajirobe.
He's also in Full Metal, and he was in. Oh, he was in Madoka Magica.
Huh.
He was Madoka Magic.
He was the magical Madoka. He was also. Oh no, he was also other guys.
But Kakyoin is just a good dude, and he's so righteous and virtuous. He's
like
not a
like
pope.
a pope.
Yeah.
I think that he
Looks great in sunglasses.
He does.
He does. He's
What's
also
his
He pulls
favorite
off those
food?
scars.
He's also a MILF hunter.
I mean, hey, so am I. Wait. Though that almost slipped.
Thank God you saved it, right?
Hey there, Jojo, old buddy.
Hey there, old Jojo, old buddy. You know, whenever I'm around your mom, I get a huge boner.
What a beautiful mother.
The first time I saw Holly, I got an erection.
I like that there's a whole section on the wiki that just says gaming under
He's a gamer,
Kakyoin.
dude.
Gaming.
Well, yeah, he's played more games than anyone else in the group.
Yeah, man. He's a gamer.
F-Murger.
He's a fucking gamer, dude. That's another reason I like him. He's a gamer.
No,
He's
but
cool.
gamers don't deserve rights. So
That's
Kakyoin.
true. I could probably beat him at F-Zero too. It's a shame it's not multiplayer.
It's F-Murger.
There you go.
F-Murger.
Well, no, you could play for 64.
Oh, is F-Zero X multiplayer?
Yeah.
Holy shit, we gotta play F-Zero together.
No.
Okay. I fucking love F-Zero X. F-Zero X is my favorite one. Okay. I digress.
Guys, Kakyoin has a hole in his stomach. I don't know how he's supposed to breathe after that.
Well, so did Goku.
Yeah, but-
and Goku's cool.
But he can do this with his tongue.
That's man, true. He could just lick me like that.
Lick.
Lick.
Whoa, whoa. I just meant he can beat you in an ice cream eating contest. Chillax, brother.
I don't know, man.
We got kids watching the show. And by kids, I mean me.
Kids,
Hey, my mom listened to this show once.
Why did your mom listen to the show once?
Well, she listened to Flowers of Evil, actually.
That's
Wow, that's probably one of the better episodes.
That's probably one of the
She's-
worst episodes.
She said it was funnier than she expected.
Well, what was her level
What
of?
did we?
According to my
The
mom.
opening bit was pretty good.
I mean, we had a lot to discuss on that episode, but so
It's true.
I digress. Kakyoin is great.
I'd
and I
have to
love it.
translate for mine.
Kakyoin.
You had to translate. Imagine translating an entire episode of this shit. That would be awful.
I'd hate
Man, I gotta localize the jokes.
Oh my goodness.
I gotta hire voice actors.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I'd have to watch the Spanish version on Netflix. No, there's no Spanish version of this on Netflix, unfortunately.
But Kakyoin is too. He fed a baby shit.
Yeah, I think that's pretty funny.
No, that's true. Never mind.
It's pretty funny.
All my comments are null now. They made me go hee hee.
Have we got any trivia for him? He likes Sting.
The voice actor for Kakyoin apparently said doing the rero was very hard, and it because it had to repeat 17 times, so he had to train himself outside of work.
Wow, it meant rehearsing repeatedly during bathing.
It's true.
I mean, it worked
Guys,
out in the end.
FAP homework is to
Well, you're bathing.
In your shower.
Yeah.
In your spare time. Do it at work.
Do it on the way to work. Do it coming into work.
Guys, if you want to tell us that we're right or wrong, email us at fuckyabaepodcast@gmail.com. We got a couple emails.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
Both from Alex. Hey, Alex asks.
Hey, Alex.
How's Charlie doing?
Next question.
And then he says, what shows besides One Piece, Pino, and Chuck do you find yourselves rewatching?
Rewatching.
Jojo.
What have I rewatched?
Jojo.
Joe. Do 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 Joe. Joe. Do 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 do
Golden Wing. Life is...
We're going live.
I've been starting to watch, well, I've been slowly getting through Hunter x Hunter. I was also watching Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun, but that's not a rewatch. I'm gonna rewatch Haikyuu soon.
Yeah, now that it's over, like, you gotta. Right?
Well, it's not the anime's not over yet. We still got another season.
True.
Boing.
Well, I mean, you might as well start rewatching it now.
No, yeah, I'm just gonna rewatch it like 3 times. I'm just trying.
I haven't been rewatching anime series. I've been just rewatching movies. I feel like I just do movies. I rewatch more movies than I do anime series.
Fair. I watch Kill la Kill like every year.
I watch Interstellar every year. I haven't watched it this year, but I have it on Blu-ray. Actually, did I watch it earlier this year? I think I did, actually. I did. I lied. I've already done mine this year.
If it's any well, no, he said no One Piece. I was like, well, I already watched
yeah,
like
I've
12
reread
times
and
this year.
was rewatching One Piece. I'm trying to think.
No anime. I mean, I've just been starting a lot of new stuff.
Yeah, that's me too. I did watch a little bit of the Diamond and Pearl anime again, because that was like my childhood. I watched like all of it when it was releasing on Cartoon Network. Classic. I love it.
It's all coming back to you.
Yeah. No, dude, seriously.
Wait, no, that's Boomerang.
No. What happened at one time was that what happened. Pokemon was posting all of the themes, the English theme songs from Pokemon onto their YouTube channel. And so they did Sinnoh, and then I watched it, and then I cried because all the nostalgia came back, and I was like, oh.
It fucking hurts, dude. Sinnoh nostalgia is real.
I hadn't heard
and
that
it
in, like, legitimately, like, 10 years, so it was just like, oh. It's my destiny to stand up, stood up. It's great.
Please,
yeah,
please, Pokemon Company, please. Don't even remake Gen 4. Just skip it.
Just port it.
Yeah. And just speed up the HP bar and port it.
Port it and orchestrate the soundtrack, and that's it. That's all I need.
Fucking God, could you imagine?
I do.
Jojo.
I'm trying to think of if there's any miscellaneous. Let's see. I think that's it. I don't have anything else to talk about. I talked about a lot today.
We blew our JoJo load. It's good
for this season. So, guys, it won't be for a while. But part 4, you think I had a lot to say today about part 3? Y'all are in for a wild ride for part 4. My favorite JoJo part, and one that I will be unabashedly biased towards.
Yeah, dude. Fucking the part 4 manga.
Part 4 manga is
so good.
And then once you get to part 5 manga, oh, okay.
Fucking Viz Media, put part 5 on a gosh darn app.
No, steal it.
Well, but I want to just read it where it's fucking convenient.
Yeah, I'll teach you where it's convenient. Don't tell nobody.
Okay.
But yeah, That was JoJo. Let's get to some rankings, shall we?
Oh shit! I forgot we do this.
We do that, except for that one episode when we didn't do that.
It's really funny.
Let's not.
Let's not say we did. Okay.
Well, thank you for watching.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
I need the list.
Okay, Pino, you go first.
Well, I must say, part three is always a fun time. I think it's one of the most fun JoJo stories to tell, especially because I'm a big fan of the whole generational kind of thing. Like, oh, it's a family thing, and we didn't solve it the first time, so it's your turn. And so I love that about the story. I don't like all the kind of two-parter episodes and a lot of the things that could really have just been one episode or like could have skipped over. It's you start really high for me and then you go in the middle and it's like and then you get really high again at the end. I'm like, yeah. But you know, it makes up for it, at least with the music and the visuals and the openings, and it's a wonderful ride. I just wish it was a shorter ride.
Yeah.
Despite me being the first one to finish. I'll give this bad boy a 3.6.
Fair. I've decided on my rating.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a 3.8.
That's very fair.
That is. I think I gave part 2 a higher score, which is good because part 2 fucking rules.
Yeah, I probably gave part 2 like a 4, hopefully.
Pino, you gave part 2 a 4.7.
Hey, because it's that good.
I think I gave it a 4.2.
You gave it something.
I gave it a score.
You gave it a 4.3, baby.
Yeah. So
what'd you say you
3.8.
gave it?
It's good.
Yeah.
It's there's better parts. Part 4 might get a.
Part 4's got to get a really biased score from me. I'm going to tell y'all that right the fuck now. But part 3 is fun. I don't know. It's not as good as part 2. I think, in my opinion, and I think everyone else agrees with me on that. But it's still super fun. It's still a wonderful ride. And, like, half the time I couldn't not smile like a fucking idiot watching this. Like, it's great. I think I'm going to rank this as a flat 4.
Fair.
Because I rated part 1 as a 4. You know what? I feel like the anime does bring it back. I'm going to give it a 3.9. Because I feel like it is brought back just enough to bring it just below. Because it does drag a bit. There are some stand fights that aren't as interesting as other parts are. And at points it slows down a bit too much for my liking. But there's still so much enjoyment in the show that I could recommend to a whole lot of... I'm going back to a 4. I'm thinking. I've been thinking a lot. I've been going...
Come on. At the end of the season, you can just change it again anyway.
No, I'm not. I'm doing it now. And also, if I make it a 4, it makes our average of clean 3.8.
Aha.
So, I like it. JoJo's fun. That's great. I am very excited to watch part 4 in a year. So, look forward to that, because that's when we're going to watch it. In a while, not very soon, but fucking, I am so fucking excited for part 4. Like, you don't.
We're gonna tease it till the end of time.
Okay. Well, hey, Pino.
Yeah.
What are we watching next time?
We're gonna fly to heaven, or rather, crash down. We're gonna be watching Heaven's Lost Property, or Sora no Otoshi something.
Bless you.
Because I don't remember how to pronounce that last one, and I didn't want to be blessed.
I'll
read it. Oh, I can't believe you. Let me actually find the name again.
How long is it?
Sora no Otoshimono, seasons 1 and 2.
Hasta la pasta, baby.
I believe they are pretty short. I want to say it's a 25 episodes total. Let me open up my character finder. Heaven's Lost Property. So we're watching Heaven's Lost Property, which is season 1. That is about 13 episodes. And we're watching the sequel, which is Heaven's Lost Property Forte, which is also just 12 episodes. So that's 25.
Man, it seems like I'm going to be taking a Forte on it.
Yes.
Never mind, I've never actually seen it, so who could say?
Well, it's an interesting one. But you'll have to find out next time.
Guys,
there's a dub, so I recommend watching it dubbed.
Dude,
Yay.
take this dub. But guys, before we head out, the man who was initially standing but now is laying face down on the ground for no apparent reason, well, that's Garbalax.
I just couldn't stand it anymore.
The one who's still comfortably sitting down because he picked the correct position to sit, well, that's Pino.
I have one foot on the chair, and it's bad for my posture, but I feel good.
And then myself, who's still air squatting, but now my ass is fucking just toned to hell. That's me.
Oh my god, I can see that all the way from down here.
Guys, nerf this.
Oh, all that's left are tire arms.
It's true. One day I'll get those tires. But thank you for watching the Funky Anime Podcast and listening as well. Make sure, if you like the show and you want to help support us, Patreon really helps us out. We're going to be trying to get new assets soon. And we'd really love it if you guys could come and hang out with us on the Patreon, starting with our $1 tier. So, and $5 and above, we are releasing audio commentaries for different movies and stuff that we watch. The One Piece Stampede one is out currently. So if you want to hear us talk about Stampede and hear my live reactions of it, that's where it is. So thank you so much for listening. We are the Funky Anime Podcast, the WRYYYYYYYYY. Guys, we'll see you all next time. Make sure to tell your mom you love her. Bye-bye.
Let me look at this picture of my friends.